Welcome to a demonstration on Notes Creator for Outlook Part 2. If you have not gone through Part 1, we suggest that you do that, but this will take off where we left on Part 1. Getting back to Notes Creator, if you click on a contact, there's two panels that show for the notes. One is the current original note. That means it's the note that exists on the contact. And if you create new note, that is what's going to be replaced there. We have three options of adding, appending, or replacing the notes. One of them is replace the note. That means the whole note is replaced. The other one is append to the beginning, and the last one is append to the end. So at the beginning, we put the date at the beginning. So if you click here on the beginning, so this is the original, and this is the way it would look. What we do is we fill the text, which is the generated text from our build construct above, and then we add a marker at the bottom. This marker, the reason we add this marker is because if you want to build again on the same data set, we will only append up to the data that's above the marker. So it's a very good way of actually keep updating your contacts without adding a lot of useless text to the contacts. So if you append to the end, the same way, if you go to the end of the contact, we'll put a marker here, and this is the data that we append at the end. That way you can add your data to the end without actually modifying any of the existing data on the contact folder. So let's look at a couple of options here. So if you click on the replace a note, then just go to the create new note, and this is what's going to be replaced there on the particular note. So the whole note is replaced by a build construct. So if you don't want to do that, if you want to add append at the beginning, click append at the beginning, and then this will be added at the beginning. So the data is added before the marker. And if you want to append at the end, click at the end, and the data is added at the end. Here's the marker, and the data is added at the end. So what we're going to do with Fred Fenderline, we're going to add the data at the end. So click update, and on the update, then we just say yes. We're going to update the contact, say yes, and it will just update that particular contact. So look at Fred Fenderline again. We have the text marker here, and on the actual contact, and that's the data we put in. So now let's assume that we're going to change the data that we want to append. Now we've already appended to a contact, and we just add something else. So we can say this is a new data to be appended, and then we can just put a set of equal, just for the sake of it. So you would assume that it would add to the end, but what it does, it looks for the marker and then just adds from there on, or overwrites the section on the Fred Fenderline. So let's look at the create new note, what's going to come out, and we'll do a refresh on that, and here we are. Oh, we didn't put any carriage return, just good carriage return here, carriage return there, refresh. So now you can see this data is appended after it's actually replacing whatever data is there. So you're not having a duplication of data that is on the contact. And that's the importance of the notes marker, is because we provide ways of you editing and continuously appending without the duplication of data on the contact. Well, the same applies for the append options as well. But we have a very interesting function that we act on the actual contact. Is you can come in here and say remove any build text from the end of the note. So you can just click on that, and that will remove it for this particular contact. That is a good way of of testing it, and if you don't like it, and if you already applied it to the contact, you can actually go into the contact and delete it. We do also offer a very interesting way of editing the notes. You can enable edit note. So if you can go and edit anything here, any note, and if you go to the next contact, the notes are saved on the actual contact. It's a very quick way of editing notes and applying these changes to the contacts. And you can just go in here and say, okay, we want to take that off, and then just go update contact, and then you can say, well, I'm done editing, I don't want to edit anymore. So you can go like that. Now you cannot edit, it's a read-only operation. So now let's just go ahead and update all the contacts. We can see all the contacts here, that there's at the end there's nothing. So we're gonna append at the end all the notes that we've generated from above. So click append, and it saves the template before it runs on all the contacts, and then that's it. So now we've got appended all these notes to the end of the contacts. So now if you decide that the data that you appended to the contacts, to all the contacts that you have, is not the data that you want, you can always go to the tools, remove build text from contacts, make sure that you choose the end of the notes, and just click on remove now, and that will remove all the data from the end of the contacts. So it's just a way of going back to square zero or square one, whichever way you look at it, without having to redo a lot of the notes and everything like that into the contact. Of course, the same thing applies to the append function or the insert function at the beginning of the contact. So just to finalize now, is when we use the update notes for all the contacts, what it does is update the notes to the contacts that are listed on our contacts list here. There's ways to restrict on what gets updated. So to do that, we have what we call the restrict function. So if you click on the restrict function, and here you have a field. Let's just, for example, say first name, right? If the first name, if it's less than B, so any first name that starts with an A, we can add the filter, and then we can say a preview. So what we have now is 3 contacts. So this preview of the 3 contacts, we can, if these are the ones that we want to change, we can just replace the current contact selection with these. So when this happens, the restriction warnings come up, and all the actions we do with the update notes for all contacts only apply to these particular contacts. So these are the contacts that the software, that the notes creator applies all the modifications to. So after you've done the modifications and you want to just clear all the restriction, just click on the X here, and then it goes back to the full contact list of your contacts folder. This finalizes our presentation on Notes Creator for Outlook. Please go to our website notescreator.com or datafieldsmanager.com or even outlooknotescreator.com. You can download this software and then have a limited evaluation where you can actually create notes for single contacts. If you want to use the capabilities of mass modifications to a contact folder, just purchase a license from our website, and we'll be more than happy to provide you with a key to use the product. Again, thank you for watching our demonstration.